right, chat. Once again, if you have not already, we have a brand new gacha community over on Twitter. It's called the Gacha Hub. Go ahead, join the Gacha Hub and become a member, an active member of the community. Post anything you want, chat with other people that are interested in gacha, and stay up to date with everything going on if you're not on Reddit. Because we also have a community on Reddit, but more people use Twitter than Reddit. Now, I was flown out, Mrs. Stix and I both, for a lot of gacha sponsorship showcases. And one of the games we got to see, that we actually got to play, again, was Neverness to Everness. We actually got flown out to see it at Gamescom 2025. I specifically was paid to verse another large content creator, iCrymax, who has like 4 or 5 million subscribers, in a one-on-one showdown where we did a boss rush where we had to verse different bosses, and the person with the most kills in total at the end won. And then we had a race as well. I won the boss rush. He won the races. That was totally fine. It was a really cool experience. And after that, I thought, I'm not going to get sponsored again. But then we were sponsored again for TGS just a couple weeks later. So we're flown out for numerous different games. Neverness to Everness was one of those games. We actually got to tour the whole booth. We got to see all the crazy cosplayers that were there. They had me take pictures with the cosplayers because I had to, right? It was for a sponsored short, a sponsored video. It was a crazy time. This was actually, I'm going to give them credit here. Is he a GTA content creator? He is, yeah. That's why. So I'm going to give him credit here. What NTE did for this booth was mind-blowing. This was arguably one of the best booths at TGS. And I cannot express how intricately designed and detailed this entire thing was. I got to speak to the Japanese community manager. So at Gamescom, I spoke to the global community manager. At TGS, I actually got to speak to the Japanese community manager. And here's Ryuku-sensei. He was there as well. Yeah, he tried to get into the car, but they didn't let him. And we got to go back and forth talking with community managers, both separate instances. And oh, look, there I am. And we actually got a lot of interesting information about the state of the game they're in, where they're at, where they plan on going, what they plan on doing. It was very, very mind-opening because honestly, I didn't expect them to be where they are, and I didn't expect what they have coming to be what they have coming. Now, I can't confirm anything because I'm not at liberty to. The content creators that were there at TGS know everything they need to know about the test phases, about the release date, but what I can say is that there was a confirmation at TGS specifically here made that stated NTE see you in 2026. What was the best booth? The best booth was Sword of Justice. And I will say this again and again. Sword of Justice blew every other booth out of the water. This booth was the biggest, most detailed, complex booth that was just mind-blowingly stunning in every single facet. We were there and we were floored. We couldn't fathom how much money and time went into creating something this masterfully crafted. The presentation of the cosplayers, the dance numbers they did, everything. This game was insane. Maybe not the game necessarily, but the booth for the game was insane. Was this the same NTE build used as the beta? I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the builds or what was... I can talk about what was present in the game because I got to play it. They had me play it on mobile, actually. And what I appreciated was because I was actually sponsored to be there, everyone had a 15-minute timer. I didn't. They gave me as long as I wanted to record all the footage I needed for the game. Before we go any further, I do want to take a moment here to thank all of my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I genuinely cannot thank you all enough for the support. And I got to experience a lot more that I didn't get to experience in the beta because they had everything unlocked. They unlocked every character, every feature, everything. This is the community manager over there, the Japanese community manager. And let me tell you, the booth was incredible. The design for it was crazy. We got given a ton of really cool goodies for it. We also got to play the beta, and admittedly the demo, and we had a lot of fun. I did a YouTube short on it because they sponsored a YouTube short, and what I can say is that this is my unsponsored opinion. The game on console runs flawlessly. The game on PC runs flawlessly. This is the gameplay on mobile. Like, I will talk positively about what I experienced because the entire experience at TGS was really good. Every part of it was really good, but this was the gameplay on mobile. So anyone wondering how it runs on mobile and if there are going to be FPS issues or performance issues, this was the strongest phone that they could afford. And this is how it played. Now, I have big ass fingers, so playing action games on mobile is always very rough for me. But there was a PC to play it. Yeah, there was consoles. There were consoles to play it too. But as you can see here, for anyone wondering, there are FPS issues. You can see there is a noticeable lag. Like here, look, like, and then the game crashed. Like, the game actually lagged up so hard, it crashed. And I was like, no, wait, what the fuck just happened? Did I ruin it? Did I break it? So, there are definitely performance issues on mobile. Definitely. Now, they do have time to fix this. But, much like Wuthering Waves, much like Zenless, there are definitely performance issues on mobile. And that is because the game is very, resource intense. And like, the game is beautiful, the combat is really good, and like there's always room for improvement, sure, but because the game looks as good as it does, it is unoptimized. And unfortunately, like, I don't know if they're gonna improve it. All I know is that there are definitely FPS issues, and it definitely crashed. And I hope the official release, the full release, actually improves. Not like in terms of game, but in terms of performance, in terms of optimization. Because from what I played, like, this was the phone that they had for testers. This is actually the phone they had testers on to test the game. Now, again, the game ran flawlessly on PC and console, but on mobile, the game had some optimization issues. Now, that doesn't make this a bad game. That doesn't mean in any way the game was, you know, bad or inferior. That just means that they need to rework mobile a little bit. Now, they have several months to do so, and I would very much so expect them to, but I'm just saying, is the game ready to release right now? I would say they could release the game and it'll do well right now. Based off of what I played, what I played on console and PC, yes, the game will do fine if it releases right now. I think they still need to rework a couple things like the gacha, not the rates, but more of the animations and everything, like the gacha itself. There are definitely things that still need to be improved, but they have time between now and when they release to fix it. But if they were to release now, I still think it'd do good. The game is set to release in 2026. Now, what I can say, okay, and what I am allowed to say is speculation. This is why games need sponsored creators and testers like you, so they can see in real time the game literally crashing on people. They'll know they need to fix it. Exactly. That is what I'm here for. I'm not here to criticize the game, right? I'm not here to criticize the NTE at all, because I had a lot of fun playing it, and I think they've improved the game a lot. But what I am here for is to say I was flown out for several games. I got to test several games, and in some instances like this, while playing on the platform that they flew me out to test and paid me to test, it crashed. It locked up so hard that it crashed. This is a demo. This is not the full final version of the game, but this is something I'm here for, to let them know that this happened. They were there. They went back into it. They fixed everything up for me. This wasn't the only game that crashed. 2 other demos at TGS also crashed. The, what was it? The Mongol Stardive demo crashed. Locked up hard also crashed. And I'll talk about the other game in its own separate video and segment on stream. But I think this game is going to do well. I think they have a lot of potential. And I think since I am allowed to speculate, I was like, can I talk about the release date? And we're not really allowed to talk specifics because every conversation you have with a dev, with a publisher, with a staff member, or community manager, you know, it is in confidence, right? You're not allowed to elaborate, and you're not allowed to reveal that information. But I did ask if I could speculate, just like I asked if I could speculate about the information, like the beta or release date for Anata, because I've asked, and I'm not allowed to give specifics, but I can speculate. And what I can speculate on is that I think the game, based off of the information I have, will release Q1 2026. Now, don't quote me, but that's what I think, based off all the information I've accumulated. Q1 2026. January? I don't know. I think Q1 definitely. Somewhere in the very near future. Not 2025. Definitely not 2025. I can't say the time. I can't say the date either, though. Don't quote me, no. All I can say is I think Q1. I wouldn't be surprised if it were Q1. When in Q1, I can't say. But I do think between January and March, yes. It's the same window as Enfield. I have information about that too, but I'm not allowed to say. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.